Good evening, all. How are we? I've got fluff all over my cap because I've just been absolutely. Oh God, my hairline is. I've got a turkey. I need this bit filling in. What's I saying? Yeah, I have just been head deep in my boiler. I was going to come on the live early. I was coming on the live early. Coming on 7:45. I'm absolutely wiped out tonight. So I was like, get on the live. 7:45, come on early, finish a little bit earlier, get yourself to bed, good night's sleep, and you'll be recharged. Get rid of this jet lag, right? I'm sat in here on voice noting clients, catching up on a few bits and pieces. Message from the wife: is the heating on? Well, it's on the thermostat. If it's over 18 degrees, no. If it's under 18 degrees, it'll come on. Why? There's no hot water coming out of the tap. I said, that's nothing to do with the heating. I said, is the boiler on? She said, I can't hear it. So I've just gone in and I've basically just spent the last 25 minutes having to bleed the radiators. Water pressure's dropped in the boiler. But so I had to add water pressure to the boiler. Still wasn't working right. So I bled all the radiators. That's dropped the water pressure again. Put more water. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the wife's now got hot water so she can have a bath. But I'm late to the live. Anyway. Just one of those things. Anyway, just what you want when so I've been up since 5:30 this morning, which technically to my body clock was 11:30. I've taught back-to-back spin classes, pretty much back-to-back spin classes, spin class, hour live, spin class, which 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago when I agreed to cover all these classes seemed like a great thing. Get back from holiday, feeling a little bit podge. Feeling a little bit podge. Get straight back on that spin bike. Couple of intense workouts, going to make you feel $1 million. I didn't take into account I'd be jet lagged. I didn't take into account that I'd have a bit of a cold. And I didn't take into account that I'd also hurt my back, which I did a few days ago. Other than that, I'm fighting fit. I'm absolutely top tier. No, I am. I'm all right. It's good to be back. It really is. It's good to be back tracking calories, feeling in control. I feel like an absolute. I said this on a bit of content today. I feel like an absolute hippo. I feel huge. I really, really do. I feel like all the weight. I think this is just nonsense. This is just how our mind plays tricks with us. I literally feel like all the weight that I've lost this year, I've gained it all back, which is physically impossible in a week. I'm just really bloated. I'm dehydrated, really bloated. But first steps done today. I'm going to finish today on about 2,100 calories, something like that, which is all good. First day back at it. And actually, the hunger demons haven't really hit me at all today. Steps are good. We're at 14,000 as I speak now. Like I said, I've done 2 workouts. Water's not gone down great, but that's something I need to work on tomorrow. Like, this is my water bottle all day. I've not even drunk 2 litres. I say I've not even drunk 2 litres. I probably had a litre, half a litre each spin class this morning. I've had a 500ml energy drink and I've had a can of Pepsi Max as well. So I've got fluids in, but not to the extent I want to get fluids in. But we're all good. We're all good. We're back at it, and that's all we need to do. Let's do top 5 on TikTok. Losing. Good evening. You're in at number 1. Kelly C at number 2. Gemma's in at number 3. Regan's in at number 4. And Steph GC is in at number 5. Good evening, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight on the live. Faye, good evening. First live back I couldn't make this morning. Yeah, it was an early one this morning. Wasn't it? 8 a.m. I did put it in the newsletter, but glad you made it, Faye, this evening. Sheila's in. Good evening, Sheila. Who else is in? Jane's in. Anyone else? Neil, lose £10 in 10 days just for a holiday. Best ideas, please. No, absolutely not. Why? What's he going to do if you lose £10 in 10 days for your holiday? Why this £10 in 10 days? What's he going to do? TUI going to send you 500 quid back. Hotel won't let you in unless you lose it. Stop trying to crash diet, right? I get, honestly, if you've got 10 days until your holiday and you think losing 10 pounds in 10 days is going to make you feel better going on holiday, it won't. Nail the next 10 days in terms of healthy, sustainable calorie deficit. You might lose a couple of pounds, right? Movement, exercise, healthy diet, get your protein in. Do all that. And even if you lose a pound, you'll feel much better than you do today. Yeah, no crash dieting, no point, pointless. It really, really is. Won't make your holiday any better, I promise you. Back from Corfu Wednesday, time to get back to it. Absolutely. If you were back last Wednesday, definitely get back to it there. Talked about this. I've done a weekly weight loss vlog. Right? Yeah, I've done a weekly weight loss vlog. You haven't, Neil. I have. It'll be on tomorrow. I've covered 2 weeks and I've talked a lot about holidays in it. Well, that's all I've talked about because that's all I've got to talk about, really. But I'll edit it tomorrow and then I'll get it uploaded tomorrow. So I've done a shopping vlog today. Right? Done a shopping vlog today. Go and have a look. There's some good meal ideas in there and a couple of new bits and pieces, I think, that I've picked up from Aldi. I'll be doing some reviews this week. The Aldi Protein Sundays are back. Never had them. Everyone always says whenever I put an Aldi product on, oh, your Aldi's a million times better than mine. We never get any of those products. You're probably just not looking in the right places. But the layered protein puddings, we've had those in abundance. But the protein sundaes that everyone's going on about, they came out similar to when the layered protein puddings, we never had them in our Aldi, and not had the protein sundaes. Though I am back in there tomorrow. I'll have another look. Tomorrow. I picked up some good bits though today, Aldi. I want to go and get a lobster. I should have bought one today. I don't know why I didn't, but I couldn't remember. Well, I needed to check my back freezer. I've defrosted it, so it's a cheap. My back freezer is like it's a stand-up fridge at the top, freezer at the bottom. We literally got it when we bought the house, just as a spare fridge freezer to go in the utility room. I just picked the cheapest one with the best review. Anything that was 4 or more out of 5, and cheapest chips. So I've had it, and I think I paid for it. Brand spanking new, 150 quid. Honestly, I think it was on sale. It was £150. So we've had it 10 years in February. So it owes me nothing. But it's not a frost-free one. It's an old schooler. You've got to defrost it every 6 months. Does anyone remember freezers like that? I've got one here. And it works perfectly fine. The fridge works perfectly fine. It's like me beer, energy drink fridge, and then a spare fridge freezer. Anyway, I'm going to get a new one. But I defrosted it, and then just before I went away, it's frosting up straight away. So I think the seals might have gone indoors. So I have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm guessing. So anyway, I've got no room in my freezer in the kitchen. My freezer in the kitchen is the worst freezer in the world. Never buy an American fridge freezer. Again, we've had it 10 years. It owes us nothing. I say it owes us nothing. It cost us £1,000. So it still probably might owe us something. I don't know. But the freezer section is tiny and there's no drawers in it. So everything falls out. It's crap. I'm just on a whinge tonight. Aren't I? Go back on holiday, Neil. We don't need this whinging. Anyway, where we'll get to. Why did I buy the lobster? Because I knew it wouldn't fit in the freezer in the kitchen. And I wanted to check how frozen the freezer in the utility room is. I need to check that. Anyway, I need to check it now, and then I'm going to go buy myself a lobster tomorrow. 10 quid for a lobster in Aldi, Christmas thing. But 150 calories for the entire lobster. I know it's only tiny, but 150 calories for the entire lobster. So you're probably gonna let's like how much lobster are you getting for 150 calories? What we're saying. Let's see if I can get NutriCheck up on my computer because I've not got my iPad. Don't know where it is actually. I put everything away safe before I go on holiday. Oh, sign in. Oh, why is it not got my password? I don't know what my password is. Actually, it might be my real lost password. Oh. Is it? Is it? It is. Brilliant. Right, lobster, prawns, basically. Let's see how many prawns you get for 150 calories. Should know that, Neil. You're meant to be a guru. Fishmonger king prawns. Ooh. Ooh. 250 grams, I think. So if you get 250 grams of lobster meat, that's not terrible, is it? Where's that gone now? Where's that bloody gone now? Oh, there. 250 grams of prawns gets you 147 calories, 33 grams of protein. So that's 150 calories. So it's the same thing, isn't it? So you get 250 grams of meat, which isn't bad, though it is a tenner. Anyway, I'm going to grab one. Just something a bit different. And I will review it this week. I have no idea how to eat a lobster. I've never eaten a proper lobster. Like a full shell thing. I've had lobster tail, right? And it's already deshelled, and you just eat the tail thing. And I've had things like lobster mac and cheese, which probably doesn't even have lobster in it. I've never actually bought a whole lobster and cracked open the claws and stuff like that. So I'll get one, and I will review it for a worth the calories. Trying not to jump off a woe is me metaphorical food bridge. Right, managed to cook tonight and swerve jump. All right, try not to jump off. You basically try not to go off the deep end with your eating. Paula, you can do it. I've got faith in you. You've been fighting this a little bit, I feel, probably for a couple of months now. And I genuinely think it's possibly the psychological food addiction trying to overrule the MJ. I think that's where you're at the moment, especially as you've been on Mounjaro for so long. And I think you're always going to get to a point where you'd have to start fighting it, right? I think you've got away, not scot-free, because I'm not saying you've not, but, you'll be honest with yourself. You have winged it a little bit and got some amazing results out of it. But I don't think it's a bad thing. And necessarily, honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing that you're having to fight these food demons a little bit, because that's what you need to learn to do, And there was someone on the live this morning and they were talking about, how, asking about feeling full. And I'm like, I've put a thing on, I didn't mean to. Evening, mate. Been on Mounjaro since last November. Lovely. Lost 9 stone up to now. Very good stuff. Currently weigh 17 stone 6. Not sure why, but my weight has gone up 4 pounds since Friday when I'm still massively in a deficit. Matty, see, this is again the issue with Mounjaro. And maybe not working with a coach, still not understanding weight loss. Matt's been using Mounjaro since November. He's been on it nearly a year, yet he still doesn't understand weight fluctuations, because if he did, he wouldn't be asking that question. Now, he might be like, oh, no, I do understand weight fluctuations. So remember, a scale measures your weight. It does not measure your fat, right? So you could be massively, I could eat 500 calories a day, right, for this week. Right? I could have weighed myself this morning. I could eat 500 calories a day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So by the time we get to Saturday, I've had 2,500 calories. I'm in a massive calorie deficit. I've had 3,500 calories a day, and I'm going to have consumed 2,500 calories. So I'm going to be in like a 15,000 calorie deficit by the end of the week. Huge deficit. Now I could go and eat 5,000 calories Saturday, 5,000 calories Sunday, and still be in a huge calorie deficit. But if I did that and went, and I'd probably weigh more next Monday than I do today, right? Take out the account that I've just come back from holiday. If it was just a normal Monday, right? Why? Because if you over the weekend, you might still be in a calorie deficit, but you're eating more unhealthy foods, more refined carbs, more salt. You might even have a little bit of alcohol. That will massively increase water weight, food weight, water retention within the body. And, Matt, you're still 17 stone, 6 pounds, which is, you're light years away from where you were at, what were you, 26 stone at the start of your journey, right? And you've made a massive change. But you're still 17 stone, 6 pounds, and someone that's 17, similar to me, you'll still get, the bigger we are, the bigger the fluctuations we can get on the scales. I don't do this anymore because I don't weigh myself that often, but I can weigh 5-6 pounds heavier at night time than I can in the morning. Right? It's dead simple. So, Matt, focus on the positives. You're 9 stone now. You're 9 stone down, right, in a year. It's very restrictive, right? It's very crash diety. I would say you've used Mounjaro way too much, right? So whether we're using Mounjaro or not, weight loss should be done healthily and sustainably. And losing 9 stone, I mean, I'll tell you. So Matt has been, let's say he's been in a calorie deficit for 11 months, right? 9 stone, right, is 14 times 9, 90, 4 9s, 36, 126 pounds. So Matt's, I don't know why I just didn't do 10 stone minus 1 stone, but it doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, it's 126 pounds. So Matt has lost 126 of these, right? This is a pound of body fat, yeah? Pound of body fat contains 3,500 calories, right? So Matt, if we times 3,500 by 126, Matt has put himself in a 441,000 calorie deficit over the last 11 months, right? Now, in 11 months, there is what? 44, let's just not 5 weeks. Let's say it's 47 weeks in 11 months, right? So if we divide that by 47, so Matt has put himself in a 9,382 calorie deficit a week on average. If we divide that by 7, that is 1,340 calories a day. That is very restrictive. Right, which tells me Matt's been on too high a dose of Mounjaro, right? Because he's changed his life. He's lost 9 stone. That's amazing, right? But I would want someone at 26 stone, healthy, sustainable weight loss. We can lose more the bigger we are, right? So I coach 1 pound a week on average. That is healthy, sustainable fat loss, right? But the bigger we are, we can push that a little bit. So someone that's 26 stone, for me personally, can lose 6 stone in a year, which would be about 1.5 pounds, right? So about 1.5 pounds a week on average, right? Someone that's pushing 30, 35 stone can probably push that to 2 pounds a week, right? And, so I'm coming off Mounjaro in the next few weeks. Only went up 6. Doesn't matter that you only went up. Doesn't matter what dose you were using, you've been over restricting, right? And I'm not having a go, Matt. I just think it's very important for people to understand this. So it's great that you've managed to control your calories to that extent by not going crazy on Mounjaro, but you didn't even need to go to 7.5, right? You probably needed to stay 2.5. You probably would have been good on that for 4 months. And then good on 5 for 4 months, right? You didn't even need to push it. Now, what you need to do with you coming off your MJ is not come off it too quickly. I'm noticing that a little bit, right? I've had some clients do it. And the thing what we have to understand is when we come off Mounjaro, our appetite's going to come back. And the quicker you come off it, it's going to come back tenfold. We can't cold turkey it. You can cold turkey. It's not going to cause you any major withdrawals or issues. But whatever your appetite was pre-Mounjaro, if you've gone up to 7.5, 10 milligram, and you just go, I'm not taking it anymore, right? Your appetite will be times 3 or 4 what it was pre-Mounjaro. It will just rock it, all right? So you need to pyramid it. Yeah, so if you've done 2, now I don't mean you need to pyramid it as slowly coming off it as you might have. So you might have done 2.5 mil for 2 months, 5 mil for 4 months, and then 7.5 mil for 6 months, right? I'm not saying you need to spend 12 months or more coming off it, right? But I'd probably wean off it over 3 months. So I do 7.5 mil for a pen, 5 for a pen, 2.5 for a pen. and just ease yourself out of it. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Appreciate your response, Matt. Not a problem at all. And honestly, I'm not trying to piss on your chips, mate. 9 stone, you've changed your life. You really, really have. And it's fantastic. But just be aware of that over restriction a little bit, and just don't jump ship too quick, all right? Coming off it. I know a lot of people are wanting to because of the price increases, but wean yourself off it. I would recommend a 3-month wean, right? And just easing it, or whatever you're on now. Let's say you're on 12.5 milligram, do a pen at 10, a pen at 7.5, and a pen at 5, and a pen at 2.5. Bring yourself off. Look, if you've made the commitment to go on it and you've invested all this money into it, you might have been on it for 12 months, right? You've invested over £1,000 into it. Then even with the price increases, invest another 600-700 quid into it, right? That's what you need to do, right? That's my recommendation anyway. Right, I've been coming down the dosages, like I said. Perfect, Matt. Good man, because we want Matt to lose that 9 stone and we want him to keep it off for the rest of his life. That's a successful weight loss journey. I've had a week off scales, say I've put £6 on, so I guess at £3 rest more. Yeah, I would have thought, Paul, it's one of them. See how quick you can work it out from how quickly it comes off and for what deficit you're in. So I've not weighed myself, right? I haven't since I've come back from Mexico. I said this the other week. I feel like I've been very, very scale focused last year, and I'm trying to be less scale focused this year. So I suppose, especially with something like my weekly weight loss vlogs, I'm trying to show a yin and yang, if that makes sense. I'm trying to show 2 sides to the story. So someone asked me today on Instagram, why are you not weighing? Would it not be beneficial to see the gains? 100%. I've been there. I've done that. I've been on my weight loss journey for 10 years, right? So I know what my body does on holiday. I don't need to get on a set of scales for it to tell me that. But the scales, and it's not a mental health thing for me. It's not the fact of seeing a gain. But, sometimes I still don't know how my brain's going to react to certain things. And because I've been on such a positive journey this year, I've absolutely, I could have gotten the scales this morning and I could be 25 pounds heavier. I just don't know, right? I don't think I am, right? Because I certainly, if I look back, have I eaten enough food and drunk enough alcohol to gain 25 pounds? Which would be, yes, water weight, food weight, might be 7 or 8 pounds. To gain a stone in body fat, which is a 50,000, would have meant I consumed 80,000 calories over a week. It's more than 10,000 a day. No, I've not been there. I've not done that. But I know that if I have a good 11 days, so restart today, my next check-in is Friday. Even if I'm up and I'm up 7 pounds, it's 7 pounds. It doesn't. The time scale doesn't bother me, right? It really, really doesn't. And if I got on the scales today and seen a big bump, it wouldn't really have bothered me. But I'm just trying to do things a little bit differently this year. It could backfire. I think sometimes seeing the gain on the scales can be a positive thing because it really makes you kick in, right? You'll be like, bloody hell, look what I've got. Look what I've gained. Head down, let's get at it. But on the other hand, that could have a totally negative effect where that could have another negative effect where if you've gained loads, you could be like, oh, blooming it. What's the point? Make you give up. Likewise, if you've gained loads on your journey, or you've not gained as much as you thought, does it make you take your foot off the pedal? There's lots of different ways to look at it. But yeah, so for me last year, I was very much pre-holiday, day before I go, the day I go, scales. As soon as I get back, scales, very, very scale focused. This year, I'm just stepping away from them a little bit, Hello from the theatre in the interval. Hello, Callum, from the theatre or in the theatre. Are you in the theatre? Are you in the production? Are you just watching? Struggled slightly with steps last week. Was full of cold, but new week in 20K done today. Regan's on it, and that's why we always look at averages. How many people have got colds at the moment? It's time of year. it's time of year. It's that time of year where the warmth of summer's gone, which, you know, we've not got the cold snap of winter. It's just the perfect temperature between sort of 10, 11, 12. It's just a perfect temperature for breeding germs and passing germs around. It really, really is. And we've seen it every year. And I think that's been more evident with like COVID, because obviously COVID's where, you know, every Tom, Dick and Harry gets a cold, don't they? But, you know, it's obviously fading now. But, you know, 2020, oh God, I got COVID. There was always a massive rise of COVID cases in October. And there will be now, just not as many people test anymore. Just watching the Book of Mormon. We're going to New York next August, not next August, next April. And Rachel really wants to go see a show on Broadway. So we're just deciding, and I think the Book of Mormon is on Broadway. So we're just having a look at the moment and deciding what show. We went to New York last year, absolutely loved it. As soon as when we were leaving, the day we were leaving, we were like, we need to come back, because we only went for 3 days. Well, we went for 4 nights, but we were only there for from 4 p.m. onwards, and then 3 days, right? And it just wasn't. We had so much more we wanted to do, and we loved it. So we're going back in April, and we're going to see a show. So if anyone's got any recommendations for shows on Broadway in New York, let us know, because we're going to save up and we're going to get some really good seats. They're flipping expensive, elder expensive, but yeah, we're going to save up and get some seats. So yeah, let me know. Got any close to go out walking a nice 25,000 steps today. Good lad, Stefan. Got them steps in. Leave off twice. I have tonsillitis. Yeah, that's like me. That's like me at the moment. I'm like, have I got COVID? Do you know what? There were so many people coughing on the plane. It did remind me. We went to Vegas in 2019 for New Year's Eve, just before COVID hit. It was sort of mooching. I don't know if there were reports in China then. No idea. But I remember it now. And it only triggered with us. And Rachel got COVID in 2019. But like, she's had COVID 3 times, Rachel. And the 2 times that she's had it where she tested, the symptoms were exactly the same as what she had in Vegas. So we knew it was. We didn't know at the time it was COVID. We just thought she had a really bad cold. But yeah, she had it. She had it then. And on the plane flying out there, the amount of people that were coughing on that plane, it just makes you realize how spread it was before we even knew what it was, basically. Yeah. So. But yeah, going out and around the resort in Mexico, a lot of coughers, a lot of people coughing. So yeah, maybe. Well, I just think it's time of year. I just think it's. I think October and March is going to be a couple of COVID months. Really, there's always a new strain, isn't there? A new something new cropping up. Anyway, right. Let me scan down, see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Do you know what? It's been so good today getting back to it. I don't like being out of control. I really, really don't. And I said that to Rachel. I do it every time on holiday. It's just who I am. And I don't regret it. I never regret anything. But especially when we go all inclusive, I always get a little giddy. I get greedy, and I do eat for the sake of eating way too much. And I've said this on some content. Today is the first time I felt hungry for about a week. Do you know what I mean? And you should, whatever the situation, and I don't even know why I was like that in Mexico. Well, the food was amazing, so that didn't help. The food was unreal. But the holiday wasn't even that expensive. I mean, don't worry, I'm not saying it was a cheap holiday, but it wasn't like, I need to get my money's worth. I need to get my money's worth. For what we got, for what we paid, it was an absolute bargain. So yeah, and maybe just a little bit of a learning curve And Rachel's so much, especially on holiday, she's so much better than me at controlling her calories. Like, she missed breakfast a couple of times, and then a couple of other times she just had a bit of a fruit plate. And she likes the pastries, so she had like a bit of a fruit plate and then maybe a pan au chocolat and then something else. But nothing, if I was going to calculate the calories at 500. Whereas I'm just there, I did my protein yogurt bowl in the morning and put 500 calories worth of peanut butter on it. Then I bought bacon, eggs, all hash browns, all the bit. So yeah, I do get a little bit greedy on holiday, but still, looking back, I would guesstimate most breakfasts were about 1,200 calories. Most lunches were about the same, and then most evening meals about the same. So I probably blew my daily expenditure of calories on food. It's then what I drunk in alcohol that will have topped it up. But never got drunk once. Not one hangover. Not one hangover. Maybe a couple of times I could say I was on the verge of getting. I was like tipsy, but not one hangover, which is kind of how I do. It's how I like it. I don't like wasting my days on holiday. I genuinely don't. Anyway, no all inclusives. I don't think next year. Said to Rachel, I fancy. We were meant to go to Tenerife last week. We've paid to move the flights to next June, so we've already. Well, it's free cancellation, but we've actually booked an apartment. So we're going to stay in an apartment when we go next year. We want it to be a cheapie anyway, more of a cheapie, because we're going to New York in April, which won't be cheap. So, and then we always have our October holiday. And I don't know what we'll do. I love doing the Mexico. I really, really did. And it was a great price, and I'm kind of umming and ahhing. But on the other hand, it's absolutely knocked me up. The jet lag's absolutely knocked me up. It's absolutely knocked me out. It really, really has. We went twice last year. We went to the States. We went to Mexico. And never felt like this. Like, absolutely on my bum. No idea. Anyway, maybe it doesn't help that I've got a little bit of a cold or something. The changing weather is causing havoc for my posterior. That sounds constantly sniffing on. I've not even got my iPad to Google that. Posterior is back. It's like your sinuses. I assume it's something to do with your sinuses. It's a bit weird, the weather. It's very wintry, but very dry. Post nasal drip. Okay, I've got you. Yeah, it is a bit weird, the weather. It's kind of on that version of, it's not cold, it's not hot. I had a fleece on today. I was actually a little bit warm walking around in it. Could have definitely had a lighter fleece on. But then it's a bit fresher tonight. But it's very overcast, and it's quite very, very autumnal. Very autumnal at the moment. I think I'm broken all over, Jem. You're having one of them. There's got to be some light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. There absolutely has to be some light at the end of the tunnel. Fingers crossed. Anyway, absolutely starving though. Train was late, so didn't have time for food. Callum, I hope you're eating afterwards. You meant as well when all inclusive. What does that mean, Angela? Hang on. Probably did. Have I said something wrong? I probably have done. Just how I get my steps with Milo in the rain. How I have changed. How you have changed. It's not raining here. Weather's good here. I'm really enjoying this anyway. Thinking about booking in the West End when I go next month. Yeah, it's meant to be a great show, isn't it? The Book of Mumma. We're just deciding whether to do a show or a music, like a musical, or do a theatrical production. But yeah, we're going to do Broadway. What else are we going to do? We never did the Rockefeller Center or anything like that. So we want to do that in New York. We never went shopping. We never went to Brooklyn. I want to do a day in Brooklyn. So, yeah, we've still got a few bits and pieces to tick off for New York. So we're going to go back. I'm such a creature of habit. When I go somewhere and I really enjoy it, I'm like, I want to go back. And there are other places. I really want to do Boston. And I really want to do Chicago as well. But we're going to go back. We're going to go back to New York because really going back to New York, although it won't be cheap, it won't be. We booked the flights. They were pretty good. Aer Lingus return with cases and everything, 900 quid. So 450 each. So they were all right. We booked the same hotel that we stayed in last year, which is we got a bit of a discount code because we stayed there before. So the hotel and flights for 5 nights cost us $2,000, which is all right. We don't have to pay for the hotel until like a week before. So then it's just spending money. But because we've done a lot of the tourist bits, it shouldn't be too bad. And it's not a boozy one either. So it's not cheap, but it shouldn't be crazy. I mean, you might as well enjoy yourself when you go on the cliffs. Yeah, I know. And I get that. I think there's a fine line between enjoying yourself and then being gluttonous. So, and a lot of people might disagree with me, but no, that's what all inclusive is all about. But, sometimes I'm eating stuff and I'm like, I'm just not enjoying it. I'm just eating it because it's there. And I think that's the difference. Maybe that's just more at the buffet. But then, I get a bit carried away. I'm like, oh, I'll order those tacos, but I fancy those tacos. Oh, I'll get those tacos as well. And then in my head, I'm like, well, if I order 3 lots of tacos, I only need to have 1 of each, or I'll have 2 of one and 1 of the other and 1 of the other. Then I ate food wastage. So then I'm like, oh, no, you might as well eat it. So, I'm not having a moment because everything the majority, 90% of the stuff I ate was well worth it. It was absolutely out of this world. But anyway, there we go. We're done. We're done with Hollybobs until 20. Well, New York will be our first one in 2025. So we're done for the old Hollybobs for 6 months. About 6 months. So it's all good. Focus now. Like, I know it. People might be like, "Shut up! Don't say it." But the focus is Christmas. It's something I worked out while I was away. I was like, right, how many? I'll get back. Start on Monday. 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks, and then before Christmas week. And I don't really count Christmas week. So we have got 10 weeks to go, and you can make some great progress in 10 weeks. You can. You honestly can. I look back now at the progress I made from starting after Christmas, like first week of Jan. 10 weeks takes you up until the middle, and I was nearly 2 stone out. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I going to be as on it now? I mean, in all honesty, there's no major reasons why I shouldn't be. Right? But 10 weeks from like going back from Christmas up to when we went to Egypt in March. Right? And I was nearly 2 stone down going to Egypt in March. So, don't get me wrong, I move a lot. And, I'm in a bigger deficit. But I said this morning, anyone that's on this live now, if you put your mind to it, you can be a stone down by Christmas. You can. You'll have to push and you'll have to, give it your best. And some of you might be there going, a stone, that's nothing. Trust me. You lose 14 of these. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Talking like that, times 2. Like that, 14 of them by Christmas. You're telling me that's nothing? Nonsense. That's just your unhealthy relationship with weight loss kicking in. Yeah. I've got to get to goal in that time. That would be such a sweet victory. You'll get there, Paula. I've got faith. I've got faith in you. There's nothing to say from what you've done the last few months that you won't do. So you'll get there. You'll get there. I didn't enjoy the lack of self-control I had in Rome. It became almost a compulsive. Yeah, I think that's it. I do switch off, and sometimes I see it as a mission just to not tracking calories. It's like it's not a relapse. I sound like flipping Joe Wicks. It's not a relapse. It's just like it's about finding a little bit of balance, because we don't do all inclusives that often. We genuinely don't. We normally do bed and breakfast, especially if we go to Spain. So, and like next year we go to Tenerife, you're going to get an apartment. Well, it reins you in a little bit because you've got to pay for. I know you're paying for it on your all inclusive, but it doesn't seem the same because it's just order that, and you've got it. Whereas, when you pay as you go, it does make you rein in. Oh, I won't order 2 dishes as a main course. I'll order just 1 dish and this, that, and the other. So, but it doesn't. but it is what it is, and it is worth it. It really, really is. I am itching to see what I've gained. I can't say I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Although I don't want to be scale focused. Again, another addiction that can work very negatively against us. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to prove to myself that I can do things a little bit differently if I want to. I think that's like I say, not being scale focused, and I'm not being. I don't feel I have been too bad this. So it's all good. Right, I'm going very, very shortly. It's been a bit of a short one because I had to sort that boiler out tonight, and I'm not buzzing. I'm not buzzing tonight. I am tired. I am overtired, but good night's sleep. Just a little warning for tomorrow morning's live. I've got to take Rachel to work. She did realize. She thought it was Wednesday, Thursday. She's on a work trip tomorrow with a director. So they, I just want the car basically, and he's going to drop her off when they're on the way back on Wednesday. So, I'm taking Rach to work in the morning. So I'm going to take her in early, 8:00. Fingers crossed. But last time we did this, it was raining, but it could have it. Last time the plan was leave here at 20 to 8, drop her off at 8, get back here for 20 past 8, get in here for the live at 8:30. It might not go to plan is what I'm trying to say. But fingers crossed, it'll be fine. I've looked at the weather forecast. It looks all right. So, I'll should be on in the morning, 8:30 till 9:30. And then you guys on plan or in the community, 11 a.m, weight loss coaching live. Topic, no idea. I honestly don't. I haven't got a clue. I will sort that out in the morning. I've got a couple of ideas. I've always got a couple of ideas. I just don't know which one I'm doing yet. I've got 2 this week, but they're both going to be at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. Thursday. That's it. Yeah, I'm out. I'm going to bed. We're watching that with Charlie, what's his name? That monster, the Ed Gein or some story. Probably the most effed up thing I've ever seen. Well, I say I've seen some weird stuff in my time. But yeah, absolutely crazy. If you've got a weak stomach, don't watch it because that guy was flipping nuts. Anyway, Jem's actually managed to track my food today. Brilliant, Jem. That is great to hear. Honestly, it really, really is. But anyway, gonna go and I need to go and grab a shower. And then I'm just gonna get in bed and watch a little bit of Netflix and zone count. So 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, I will be back with a vengeance. And then 11 a.m. tomorrow, weight loss coaching live on the Zoom. I'll send all the links out in the morning. Got the Everything Weight Loss session, you guys on Planner in the community on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. again. And then we've got the weight loss coaching lives. And Friday's live this week is going to be at 8:30 a.m. Saturday live, I think Rachel will be coming to the gym on Saturday. So I don't think there'll be a Saturday live this week. Anyway, there we go. It's good to be back. Day 1, back in the saddle, ticked off. 10 weeks. That is the focus. Lee quickly on Facebook. I'm trying not to be so scale focused. Had 2 huge NSVs in getting into slim fit jeans. Oh, I think I saw that today in a medium hoodie. Amazing birthday weekend this weekend. Wonder not seeing scale brilliantly. And honestly, I think non-scale victories, I always say this, are worth. In fact, that's what I might do tomorrow. I might do NSVs. And why they're so much more important than what the scales say. And just little things like, and don't get me wrong, I know it's aesthetics, and I know it might, not material. It's like weight loss's version of being materialistic is, I'm in a smaller clothes size, but it is a big thing. It is. It gives you a sense of achievement because we do put a lot on our looks, and we do put a lot of pressure on like certain. We have this relationship with certain clothes sizes, you know. And to be a medium, wow, that's amazing. I've never been a medium. I've been a large. I have been a large. I've certainly been an extra large. Well, I'm an extra large now, and I've certainly been 2X, 3X, 4X, and 5X and 6X. But I've never been. I never will be a medium. There will never be a time in life where I'm a medium. But I'm all right with that. Right, I'm out, guys. TikTok first. Enjoy. The rest of your Monday evening, whatever you're doing, and hopefully, if you're free, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. I'll be right here. And TikTok, not TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, exactly the same. Hopefully, if you're free tomorrow morning,